Half of Group A is done. The second half is upon us. Auke's GF versus Random. We are going to Crystal Coliseum for this match. Auke's already made it through. Green has been knocked out. And as Auke just said in chat, it will be interesting if Random wins this match and then gets to the final against Auke for that rematch from the second match ever in the tournaments, that major tournament highlight. But they first have to get through Auke's GF, who is very powerful. But Auke's GF did take that 4-0 loss last time out against Auke. Will they be able to come back from that? If this match ends up in a tie, Auke's GF actually will make it through to the next round. Now you might think, why would Auke's GF go through if Auke's GF lost 4-0? How does that work with the tiebreakers? Yes, but Random also lost 3-0. And when Auke's GF won in round 1 against Green, they won 3-0, so that puts the tiebreakers 1 point in Auke's GF's favor. Alright. Let's decide the rest of Group A. Also, I think, if I remember, I'm going to give some special announcement for the players once we get to the top 8. Like, say where they're from, because I actually input where the Pokemon are from for each trainer into a different location. Like, might be Canalave City, might be Route 202, might be Resort area, but I announced them a little bit fancier before their match. Tiebreak would be that Auke's GF has a 1-0 difference in a sense, I guess. It's a 1-point advantage. I wouldn't call it a 1-0 difference, but I guess you mean the same. We'll body slam into instant paralysis. Not a nice turn 1 for the Dragonite. Grab Hammer from Fire Breath, that's a pretty powerful move. Unfortunately, Yamna can't hit all that hard. It would love a Bug Buzz. Super effective, stab. Embargo. Can't use items, but we're nowhere close to using the items unless they want to use Fling.
Its defense rolls. The air in the Coliseum is tense. Electrode uses its move.
Toxic Spikes. That's gonna poison the Rammus Pokemon when they come in. Omanyte will be hit by it. Magneton will. Is there a poison type before then? What are their other Pokemon? I don't quite remember. Meanwhile, Yama does hit a good move on Electrode. I think Electrode has lower physical defense stats than Toothbrush, and Toothbrush also increases defense. Random won't win that Spike's OP. It's good. One layer of Toxic Spikes does mean standard poison, which is 1/8 of a Pokemon's health, which is major. But Magneton won't be hit by it. Omanyte will, but I'm trying to think if there's a poison type in the second or third or fourth slot. There is. Yes, Random's 4th Pokemon is a poison type that's on the ground. So even though the 3rd Pokemon, unless like something like Whirlwind happens, only the next Pokemon from Random will actually be affected by the Toxic Spike, because the 4th one's going to remove it. Double-layered Toxic Spikes would be major, I guess, considering it can be that Pokemon stay on the field for more than 3 turns. Because turn 1, standard Toxic Spikes does more. Turn 2, it does equal damage, but overall it'll have done less. Turn 3, it'll deal more damage than standard Spikes, but overall it's the same damage from turn 4 onwards. That's when double toxic spikes is more.
Its special defense rose.
Increased physical and special defenses for the Mesprit. And Dragoon going through the paralysis again. See, I have to go to shops a few minutes. I'll be back. Okay. See you soon, Auke. I'll get you updated once you're back on results.
The mood in the Coliseum has become
Fire Breath losing half of their full health for maximum attack, and Zora used Wood Hammer and Crab Hammer for some big moves. What are we gonna see next? Hammer Arm? Some more physicals. Guard Swap. I don't think those two haven't changed their their defensive stats. Mesprit would have. So it would have mattered there, but not here. Physical move to make use of Belly Drum. Horn Drill, I guess that's physical, but that is 30% accurate. I guess I wanted to go for the instant KO. Would have been nice for it. Would have been awesome, actually. Blast Burn, but misses. I think that's like, is it 85% accurate? 90, something like that? Haze gets rid of the defenses on Mesprit, but it also gets rid of the full attack boost on Yanma, so that half HP cost is just gone. Well, the HP cost isn't gone, but what they got back for it is not. A little bit of a scratch. Conversion changing its type to normal. Blast Burn's 90% accurate, thank you. Smoke Screen. Lowering that Yanma's accuracy. Drill Pack and the defense boosts are gone, so that'll deal more damage than it otherwise would have. And that's the first KO.
It's down and out.
The bets were on Auke's Jeff in a sense, but it's random that gets the first KO. And if they can do a lot now and get that lead, and with the Toxic Spikes only being affecting one of Random's Pokemon, there's not a lot. Wait, actually, I was saying the fourth Pokemon on Random's side is a Poison type. No, that's the fourth Pokemon on Auke's Jeff's side. I mixed the two teams up.
Aggron is sent out.
I totally mixed the two teams up. But wait, isn't Dustox on their team? Yeah, Dustox is the third Pokemon on Random's team. Cleaner. So, and Dustox, even though it flies, it doesn't have the flying type, nor levitate as the ability. So it'll get rid of the Toxic Spikes instantly. Toxic Spikes is useless. Toxic Spikes is useless. It's not going to affect anything. Oh. Dustox is Bug Poison. Yeah, Bug Flying is beautiful. Dustox is Bug Poison. Transform into Dragonites. That's some good stats, so that can work out very well for it. Sweet Kiss. Confusing the Aggron the moment it comes in. Rage. If only that was Gen 1 Rage, it would stay stuck in it. But this is just going to be a little bit of damage. Now, real Dragonite just got paralyzed, but because that's not a normal stat change, it's a stat change due to the paralysis. Stat alteration. It shouldn't be that the original Electrode copied that. So the original Electrode should still be at normal Dragonite speed. Volt Tackle, more really good physical moves from Yanma. It really dislikes that its belly drums were gone due to the haze from its partner, because otherwise that would have been a KO. That would have been a KO on that Electrode. And that would have been a 6-4 lead. But it's not. Attack and defense swapped, so slightly more defensive Dragonite now. I think Dragonite already is pretty defensive. Uproar, Fire Breath, and that is Yanma gone. Also, Pokemon can't sleep for the duration of the move. The Dragonite's attack is 134 on base and defense is 95. So, decently considerable difference. Thrash now on Aggron, but that's a Steel Rock type, so that's gonna eat it up. Barely take any damage, and Thrash, you stay in Thrash for 2 and 3 turns, and we've learned that a move like that, which doesn't really choose a target, it does stay on attacking the same slot. Also, here comes Kalina the Dustox to clean the field of the Toxic Spikes. We're tied at 5-5. Only need to select 2 moves. Sandstorm is up. That's 1/16 damage to everyone on the field for 5 turns. Although not for Aggron, because Aggron's a rock and a steel type. And actually gets a 50% special defense boost from it. Dustox improving its special attack stats, but it needs to actually attack. Uproar keeps hitting and... Wait! Uproar didn't attack the Yanma slot. I thought it always went for the same slot. That's new. Maybe Uproar does work different. Alright, damage on both the Dragonites and on Dustox. Aggron will continue with Uproar on the next turn. Now the Electrode, by transforming, did lower its power points from Metronome to 5, although it does still have its Leopard Berry, so it should be fine. Lucky chance they can't be hit by critical hits, which is understandable considering in the last match we saw a lot of critical hits. They might think a lot more crits will happen. Icy Wind! 4 times super effective on Dragonite, won't do much against Aggron, but it will lower its speed. And it was actually enough to KO the Dragonite. So, Random again has the lead. It's not much of a lead. Their Dragonite's still paralyzed, but it's a lead. See, Uproar is actually random. Maybe a move that actually would have normally chosen their target always goes for the same slot. But a move that doesn't can go random like this. Okay, Aquatil's super effective. Big damage in Aggron. Looking good for random right now. But we know an explosion, a taunt, an imprison can change anything. Even that, like, that Torterra getting imprison could have meant a lot. That Torterra in the previous match, Auke versus Green, could have meant a lot. Although then Auke would have just struggled a lot, and that would have still hit hard on Torterra. The 4th Pokemon Auke's Jeff's side, Skuntank. This is the poison type I originally thought was on Random Steam, but I looked at the Pokemon slot in the Pokemon in the 4th slot while selecting the moves for Auke's Jeff's side, which instead of Random side, which is how I got confused. Valentine the Skuntank goes first. Silver Wind. It's not going to deal much damage against that Dustox. I think actually why the Dustox dealt a bit more damage maybe than I thought was because that special attack was from Growth. It did get that earlier. If tries Rest, which would have worked in terms of the health, but Uproar is active and means that you can't sleep. So you can't start the rest. It doesn't work. Dragonite gets through the paralysis. Aromatherapy! It gets rid of its own paralysis. Sandstorm does keep damaging the Pokemon that aren't Rock, Steel, or Ground type. So that's everyone except Aggron. No special attacks except that weak Icy Wind anyway. We're on Aggron. We're using Aggron, so the special defense boost they got didn't really apply that much. Aquatil hit it for most of its damage. The thing is, the Sandstorm's going to run out, but the Sandstorm will likely be back by the end of the fight. Smog. Stab, but not a powerful move. Why is Aggron's GF's Nightmare? Why is Aggron GF's Nightmare? Why is it called that? The nicknames on Auke's GF site were chosen because the participant who chose the Pokemon actually asked me to come up with random nicknames for their Pokemon without saying what their Pokemon were. Because I like to give my Pokemon random nicknames. Like I might give it Call of Geodude Rock and Call of Pidgey Bird. But sometimes I just also catch a Pokemon in a game and then look around me, and the first thing I find that's what its name is. Like I catch a Wingull and oh, Pen. Wingull's called Pen. Or hey, sunglasses. My Pikachu's called Sunglasses. So I just came up with 6 random nicknames. Things that could be nicknames like Nightmare, things that are normally not used as nicknames. And in that order, he gave them to their 6 Pokemon. To the 6 Pokemon. And that's how Aggron came to be Nightmare, and that's how Skuntank came to be Valentine. Dragoon got poisoned this turn, so Sandstorm and Poison are going to take it out this turn. Unless it heals. Reflect on Auke's Jeff's side, improving the physical defense for 5 turns. We're going to see a Brick Break to get rid of it. Now we're going to see a Thunder Punch though, so that's going to be some decent damage onto Aggron, but that Reflect does half the damage. Nightmare is about at a quarter of its HP though. So, Random will like that. Dustox with Flash, lowering Aggron's accuracy.
Its accuracy fell.
Here comes Aggron's own turn, continuing that Uproar for a bit of damage every turn. I think it will run out this turn though. Sandstorm runs out with a Poison on Dragon, and just take out Dragon to bring the score back to 4-4. Still pretty close. Random has a slight advantage, but it's not much. Uproar has ended as well. No Spaz comes out on Random side. Actually, the HP in terms of percentages is about equal. It is. Let's see, Uproar. How long was Uproar last time? 2 to 5 turns, so we were at, I think, at 4 or 5 with Aggron's Uproar. And with that, they didn't lose any power points either. Right, let's see what Dustox can do together with No Spaz. Dustox does have that increased special attack stat, but Reflect is up on the other side, so that probably want to use special attack. Or a Sphere, but it's not that Dustox, which is 4 times resisted, instead of a No Spaz, which would have been weak to it. And with Sandstorm gone, it wouldn't have had that special defense boost. Block, one of the useless moves. It's as useless as Splash because you're not allowed to manually switch in this tournament. Nose Pass, a Pokemon that normally uses Block uses Charge, improving its special defense stat, and would it call an electric move next turn, that'll deal double damage. Bullet Punch, stab super effective, but Nosepass does have good physical defense, so it doesn't take all that much. Lucky Charm has worn off on Auke's GF side, so critical hits can't affect them once again. Can Auke's GF take the lead? Skuntank uses Spikes, lowering the power points of Dustox's Metronome by 4. Dustox counters with Leaf Storm. Resisted. Still decent damage after its own special attack increase, but now it drops 2 stages, so it's now at 1 stage lower than normal. Critical hits, both of them, after the Lucky Charm just ran out. And the critical hit also ignores the Reflect, but Skuntank resists it. Aggron has really high defenses, so it doesn't deal that much damage. Resisted present, probably the lower power of one. So, Baby Mario's still in there. But that right now, it's close. Skuntank, let's see what you'll do. Double hit. Resisted by Nosepass, though.
Multiple hits. It keeps dealing damage. A brilliant hit. Its attack fell.
Pale Glow, improving the special defense, special attack on Aggron, but it just got hit by Whirlpool, so that's some residual damage. So that's probably, next turn it's out, unless the Pokemon that used Whirlpool is taken out this turn. And because I was just talking to my brother who informed me of some things, I don't actually know if it was Dustox or Nosepass that used the Whirlpool. Pain Split. I think that's good for it. Yeah. Skuntank actually losing HP from it. Nosepass gaining. Dustox Acid Armor improving its physical defense.
Its defense rose.
Aggron, you need to KO something this turn. Oh, whoever used Whirlpool to survive this turn. Here comes Acid. Doesn't affect Aggron because of its Steel type, and just a tiny bit of damage on Skuntank because it's a resistant hit. Nosepass using Charm, so Dustox was a Whirlpooler. Okay, thank you. And because I used Charm, I think that was also on the Nosepass. This is not going to deal damage.
It's a close fight.
It is indeed a close fight, but Reflect is off, and Whirlpool ends Nightmare.
Whirlpool takes it for a spin.
It did. So, lead random again. Now you would say that continuously Auke's gym has the better Pokemon, but random does get the slightly better moves maybe. What did you miss? Not too much. We're still in Auke's gym versus random. And I was just saying that even though Auke's gym has the better Pokemon overall, random keeps getting on average the slightly better moves. Or is able to use them more effectively and keeps getting a slight lead. It's only a slight lead, but it's there. Also, the Toxic Spikes that were on the field earlier are gone because Dustox was sent out on random side as a third Pokemon.
Its attack missed.
Also, the moment this match ends, like normally I'd already give like a 5 to 10 minute break, because we're in between the groups and I want to give people like a chance to break. Ooh, Moonlight and Acid Armor is already up, so physical moves will do. I'll actually be able to make use of that physical defense now. But after this, I'm gonna it's gonna be a little bit of an extended break, and that is due to the fact that I'm going to have my dinner. Well, interestingly, Valentine improved Baby Mario's HP earlier with Pain Split, but it got hit by like acid, so Endeavor actually was effective. Yeah, I'm gonna have my dinner after this match. I'm gonna finish this match, have my dinner. Stream will still be on. I'm probably on the Be Right Back screen, and then once I've had my dinner and I'm back, we'll continue with the Group B matches and decide who moves on there. Because we already have one person through to the next round in that group, but 3 people still fighting for that second spot. Heal Bell. I don't think there was a status affliction on that team, was there? Only earlier with Aromatherapy, you got rid of Dragonite's Paralysis. Hidden Power, that's 70 power Dark. Critical hit, ignoring that special defense boost that Victory Bell just got.
Well, both corners still have a chance to win this.
That's looking nice. So, looking at percentages of HP, right now they're about equal. But Random has a 1 Pokemon lead. Still, Explosion, Imprison could change it so quickly. Really hard Gong Shot, Stab, but Nosepass resisted. It does get poisoned though, so it's on a timer. After that, Kimono versus Van Grans. Yep, that's actually the next match. Yep. Could have been Auke versus Rens, but Van Grans versus Kimono in that order will be after the break. In this group, we already knew after round... again, Pain Split healing the opponent. We already knew after this group's second round that no one would be going to the next round with 9 points. It'd be at best 2 players with 6 points, because there was 1 win and 1 loss for everyone after round 2. The next group, it's possible that 1 person gets the 9 points, and that's Kimono. But we're gonna see that in the next match if that happens, if they can beat Van Grants. She has a decent chance, like she has good evolutions. Bug Buzz, it's Dustox, but that's resisted. Dustox on the field for a long time, had to use a Leopard Berry, but that means that they have 10 more power points. Meteor Mash, good power, but the defense boost they got earlier, +2 defense, is important here. Shadow Ball, nice move. Is resisted and does come off a lowered special attack. But it lowers special defense on Skuntank, so that may matter. Baby Mario. Drill Peck, and that's on Victory Bell. Does have an improved defense stat, but that's still big damage. That crit would have definitely been a KO. But it's a nice parting gift from Nosepass from Baby Mario. Scores back to 3-3, but both Victory Bell and Skuntank are pretty weak. And now we know that the final Pokemon on Auke's GF's team is arguably their best one. But we also know that it sets up Sandstorm, which doesn't affect Random's final 2 Pokemon. With low HP and Valentine and Penguin, if they're both taken out, Random has that 2v1 advantage. And once it's 2v1, you're probably going to make it. Then again, we have seen a Tyranitar as the final Pokemon before in round 2, actually. And it exploded or self-destructed. And it was a tie. And if it's a tie, Auke's GF goes through to the next round with a 1-point better tiebreaker. Oh, Heal Order. That's good from Victory Bell. And with its improved defenses, it can probably make use of that. Maybe Random wants to focus on the Skuntank. Full Tackle. Not enough, though. Lord Helix, what's your first move? Lord Helix, Lord Helix. No, Lord Helix! What are you doing?
Taken down by Healing Wish.
The lead goes to Auke's GF. Lord Helix sacrificed itself for the greater good. But unfortunately, the greater good means nothing because the next Pokemon is already fully healed.
Magneton is sent out.
At Lord Helix, that wasn't the time for a sacrifice. It wasn't. Auke's GF with the lead finally. Can they punish? Can they punish Blizzard? Doesn't affect the Magneton much, but it takes a Dustox. That was a 2v1 scenario with a Pokemon in the back. No, I was rooting for Random, I'll admit. I was rooting for Random because they have the weaker team based on base stats. They have some NFEs, and I'm really rooting for the teams that have them. Shadow Claw does take out Skuntank. What? Oh, Aftermath! Because it was finished off by a contact move, 25% damage to Magneton. And Penguin here with good health now after that heal order. I think it had a stockpile up, and Moonlight! It just healed twice! It was at super low health. But now it has a defense boost on both stages with full health. Well, here comes Asuka to finish it off. The Raw Women's Champion. At least at the time of streaming this, because this might be uploaded after Extreme Rules, in which case she might not have the title anymore, I don't know. Advance. Let's see what advanced strategies they come up with. They've been fancy before. If they get Imprison, then maybe, although in the 2v1 scenario, I think even Imprison can't save Advance. Unless they heal afterwards. They do go first and they hit Cross Poison. So that's a decent move, but They need more. They need like flamethrower. They need close combat on the Tyranitar. Head smash is going to be resisted, but it's damage. And it's damage. Every bit of damage is bad for random. Earthquake. Yeah, Earthquake would be obliteration. Random at this point. No, Random at this point doesn't want Explosion because, as I said, Auke's Jeff would win on tiebreakers.
Its defense rose. Victory bell.
Sandstorm only damaging Victreebel, so that is something Auke's Jeff is very happy with.
Raging in the Colosseum.
I mean, Random is happy with. And the fact that Poison was removed by Dustox was nice for Ammonite. But Ammonite just sacrificed itself, so it didn't matter.
The move
Track didn't work. It's no good for Random. Here comes Victreebel. Psycho Boost, another big hit.
torn apart by Psycho Boost.
And that's game. Random had the slight edge every time. But a double heal from Victreebel. And a healing wish from Lord Helix.
It's an absolute victory.
Cost Random the game. So Auke, you're through to the next round. And the person who beat you in round 1 is not. That just shows that you can't just go on say things based on the round 1 matchups. And that first round 1 match definitely was an example of how luck can bring things your way, but I think in total it was their lower base stats that eventually made Random not make it through to the next round. 2-0 win. And let's look at the timer. Just under 30 minutes. And this means if I put in the score with Auke's GF beating Random, that the winner of Group A is Auke, because Auke has the better better tiebreaker points compared to Auke's GF. Auke wins it, Auke's GF second. Green will finish third, and Random, even though they beat the eventual winner of the group in round 1, ends up last place. Auke wins the group.